Hi, this is Pete Fernbaugh. Welcome to Trinity Talk. Our guest today is Rebekah Cohen Morris. She's Executive Director of AIM Women's Center right here in Steubenville. And she has a lifetime of experience to share with us, including a lengthy career working with the marginalized, not just here, but also in Atlanta, Georgia, which is actually where she got her start. So we're going to be talking to her about a lot today. But Rebekah, thank you so much for coming on to Trinity Talk. We really appreciate having you here.
For having me.
Absolutely. Your work precedes you. The center has a great reputation here in town, and people speak very highly of it. But before we get to the work of AIM Women's Center, I want to talk to you about your background, because as we were talking during the pre-interview, you have a lengthy career working with the marginalized in our society, which is, of course, something we're very interested in here at Trinity Health System as we seek to live out the ministry and calling of Christ, who clearly went to the marginalized.
To work with the marginalized, yes.
Wasn't hanging out with the wealthy.
No, he didn't have a lot of positive things to say when he was hanging out with them.
That's right. So first of all, one thing that I wanted to share with our audience, wanted you to share with our audience is, tell us about your dad, tell us about your mom, and how you ended up in Atlanta to begin with.
Well, it's very random, but yes, my dad was a Jewish New Yorker, grew up in Long Beach surfing, rough home life, left home, found himself homeless in California while he was surfing and doing other things. And this pastor picked him up. He and his wife let my dad live with them. And that's when he met the Lord and became a Christian.
I love that story. Surfing and smoking weed and Jesus. So.
Yes. I mean, he like the Jesus Revolution people. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie.
I haven't seen the movie, but I'm familiar with the story. Yes.
Those were the people he was around. And it was just, it was a bunch of hippies who then became crazy for Jesus.
So it's no shock that you have such a diverse background because of your father.
Yes.
And then he met your mother in New Zealand?
Yes. So people were like, oh, you're a Jewish convert. He was friends with a pastor who had a friend at a Bible college in New Zealand. So they invited him to speak for 9 months as a visiting professor at a small Bible college in New Zealand. My mom was the administrative assistant. And they met and married in 9 months and moved to New York City, where they worked for Jews for Jesus for a year until I was born. They moved to North Philly, and my dad and my mom had 2 more kids, so I got a brother and a sister, and he started working to fix furniture. Ministry wasn't, going to feed as many kids as he had at that point, and
I'm a pastor's kid, believe me, I know.
You totally get it.
I totally get it, yes.
So and it was really a lot of that led us to move from North Philly. We were renting. When I was 6, we moved to Atlanta, and my dad and my mom were able to buy a house on a big piece of land out in the country, and it was definitely different than North Philly.
I think we up here in the North or the Midwest or wherever we are, however they classify us these days.
Yes.
But I think we look at Atlanta and we just think city. We don't think there's a whole countryside out there.
Yeah.
We just think of that huge, gigantic city.
Yes.
But you went from North Philly to Atlanta. What was that like?
It was a cultural shock. I was telling you, I thought that we were drinking whale water, and I thought there was a literal whale. I couldn't figure out what this whale water was. And then apparently it was a well. It was well water. And so it was an acclimation, accent, cultural. We were the only white family on the street up in North Philly, and our family just fit in perfectly. We just all got along, had block parties, cookouts, played basketball. We moved to the South, and they weren't as interested in the fact that we had an immigrant background. We were Yankees. My dad's Jewish. People shot our house. People burned our mail. It was crazy. I was
how old were you at that time?
I was 7 when we got into that house. And so 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm experiencing this, and I'm seeing how my mom is treated as an immigrant. And, she speaks English. She has a green card. And I saw just how she would be treated even at a Walmart. People would yell loudly when they talked to her. And she's like, I can understand you. Kind of, And so I just kind of started to feel compatibility with people who were living on the margins. I was bullied in school. My mom made up my clothes. I had big glasses, big fluffy hair. It was a whole look.
80s, 90s, right?
Yes. So really developed a heart. Well, I felt the injustice of how people were treating my mom because she was an immigrant, or my family because we were Yankees, or my dad because he was Jewish.
Yeah.
So that injustice, that anger, or that feeling of that really, I think, sparked me into a lifetime of saying like, well, you see injustice, but what are you going to do about it? What does God want you to do about it?
Sure. The interesting thing is, one thing that I admire about the Jewish community, the Jewish faith, is they're very aware of the socially disadvantaged.
Yes.
And, when you really get to know folks in that community, they spend a lot of their time and money investing in the marginalized. Do you think you picked up some of that from your father's heritage?
I'm sure there's a lot of that's just kind of ingrained in him. But so my dad was actually the son of like a Jewish mafia guy. So they weren't really...
This gets more and more interesting.
They were investing in like really good enterprises. I think they had a hotel that might have been a little seedy. There was a bar, some guy named Morty that my dad had to take a bag to. But the people...
Sounds like your dad should be on the podcast.
I know, right? He's amazing. They're moving here soon. They're moving to Steubenville. Excellent. So I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I think that a lot of what I picked up from my Jewish background was, Jewish people have been persecuted and marginalized for a lot of history, but, they still thrive. They find a way to still serve. Like if they get to a place where they can give back, oftentimes they do give back.
The resilience of that community is astounding. So you started to notice being bullied in school, having your family experience prejudice and discrimination. You started to feel what others are feeling now. Yeah. Immigration is a huge topic right now, and I'm assuming it's been a huge topic for the better part of 100 years.
Yes.
In this country. And I'm assuming that when this is published and released, it's still going to be a huge topic.
Yeah.
I think what gets lost in the cultural discussion, the political discussion, all of that, is their humanity.
Yeah.
And so you spent a lot of time in Atlanta.
Yeah.
In addition to pursuing a political career and a law career and your 6 other careers, you spent a lot of time reaching out to undocumented immigrants.
Yeah.
So for those who only know about that community from what they see in cable news or hear on the internet or read on the internet, what can you tell us about undocumented immigrants that will shatter the stereotype?
Yeah. I mean, growing up when I went to church, there were a lot of kids that I couldn't understand why they were 15 and driving their parents' car without them, or they were 14, or they were working. And I grew up around people who were trying to make it. And I once asked, how do you get to drive? You don't even have a license. They're like, my parents don't have any papers. So if the cops pull us over, we're all gone anyway. So whether it's me driving or them. And I was 13 or 14, I'm like, what does that even mean? You don't have papers, My mom had her green card, she's not a citizen. She always just wanted to stay a New Zealand citizen. So it was very much a part of growing up in the communities we were in. When I became a public school teacher.
That was the other career I forgot. Public school teacher.
So I became a public school teacher at 21. After I finished playing college basketball and graduating early, I became a public school teacher and coached basketball in Atlanta. And most of my students were undocumented. And I was like, why are you guys not turning in any of your work? They're like, Miss, we're undocumented. We're not going to college. We literally I'm like, how did you get here? What are your stories? And so they would write papers about it. They would tell me about it. And they were, well, my mom and dad were together. The cartels were saying they were going to take us and do what they wanted with my mom. So my mom and my dad said, you got to get out of here. So they just packed up the kids and swam across the river in the middle of the night. And so if you're a 20-something-year-old mom swimming across the Rio and then walking across the desert, and then you end up in Atlanta and you have kids here, that is a lot different than what you see on the news.
Yeah, I was going to say, first of all, there is nothing about that I don't think a human being anyway, who's in touch with their humanity, can empathize with.
Right.
Mother wants to protect her children.
Right.
Father wants to protect his family. There's an outside threat. There's no easy way to get into a better life. Right. So you've got to sneak in.
Totally.
In the middle of the night, and you've got to overcome countless obstacles. Right. They're a resilient community.
They are. And I think what I was always told by the parents, so I couldn't have parent conferences with the parents because they didn't speak English. So I was like, all right, Anna, you got to teach me some Spanish. I need to know how to say, pull up your grades are going down, you sleep in class, all the common words. So I just taught myself along with Anna. She gave me the words. And I just started holding.
Was Anna the Spanish teacher?
Anna was just one of my students.
Oh, no
She
kidding.
was a ninth grader. I went to her quinceañera. My daughters and I went to her wedding. She just had her first baby.
Oh, wonderful.
I stay in touch with all. I was 22 and I was teaching seniors and sophomores. And she was a freshman. I taught her the next year. So I was like, Anna, you got to help me. You make all A's. Can you prepare me for this parent conference? And there was only one translator and there were 3,500 students in this school. So I was like, I have to be able to talk to the moms. I have to be able to talk to the parents. So I started talking with them, started learning Spanish, and now I'm fluent. But they would tell me just the stories of how they were like, if there was a way to legally come here, I would have. She's like, but one, we're uneducated, like dropped out in third grade selling tortillas by the side of the road. So like having the internet and looking up ways of legally coming here. So you just kind of have to base it on like, well, how do we get out of here? And then, many of them in the 90s said that they came across, they checked in at the border. Hey, I'm here for construction. Hey, I'm here for whatever. And they're like, all right. And they walked through, they settled down, they rented, they got tax ID numbers, they paid taxes, raised their family. And then 9/11 happened. And, this shift kind of happened in how it was like, wait, how did you get here? Like, what process do we have to, everyone needs to, and I know there's much more nuance than just that, but I'm sure the stories that.
But this is still not the background you get.
No.
In our current dialogue.
No. So many of these moms had come over at 15, 13. Many of them had been trafficked and taken across. Many had gotten visas to work here in the fields legally, but then their visas were taken away from them by the growers, the property owners. And then they wanted to get their papers back. They had to do all these terrible things. And many of them didn't even know they were being trafficked. So they get their stuff back. It's all expired. They have no way to get back home. And so they just try to figure out how to give their kids a good life now that they're here. So it is so many different stories.
I think the most important thing you said a second ago was when you looked at your students and said, what are your stories? And that's kind of what you had to do now, right?
Yeah.
You're working here in Steubenville with people who are also marginalized, women who are marginalized, lower income, finding themselves in a difficult situation. Before we get to that though, how important is it to just ask that simple question? What's your story?
I mean, that can't be overstated. To just know where someone's coming from. Any person. When you disagree with someone, just like, what's your story? Just tell me, what have you gone through? What have you experienced? And how have you formed yourself into the person you are? But I think we obviously need to do a lot more of just dialoguing.
Absolutely.
So fights on the internet, I'm not interested in them. I treat whoever's in front of me is the most important person to me at that moment. So I'm just going to enter into their story and their life and try to walk with them, whether that's, being in the street, teaching, city council, AIM Women's Center.
I used to be one of those internet warriors.
I mean, when the internet came out, you're like, well, I got something to say too.
I'm going to set you straight. I'm going to spend 6 hours a night doing it.
This is so good for everyone.
Right. It just builds bridges. You know? I think the one thing that got me out of that whole idea of just fighting online is I realized the side you're opposing is using people they don't know to make a point. But you are too. And if we're both using people to make a point, then we're not actually arguing on anyone's behalf. We're just trying to feel like we're the morally superior one. I think, once again, what's your story? Where do you come from? Who are you? You're a human being. Tell me about your life. What got you to come up here to Steubenville from Atlanta to work with a different population? Although we have immigrants here, this area is much more diverse than people realize. So you're probably working with some folks from the same community. But what got you from big city Atlanta to small city Steubenville?
So it's a long and winding journey. But after teaching, I started a nonprofit.
What was the name of your nonprofit?
It's Spanish. It's Los Vecinos de Buford Highway.
And it was to reach out to the undocumented?
I mean, it wasn't specifically for that, but like all my students, by that time, after 10 years, most of my students had papers, but most of their parents didn't have papers, so they were undocumented. So my students and I was trying to just get them to care about academics. So I was like, well, let's just do something to get you engaged in the community. And like, you can write op-eds for the paper. We can do press releases. We can do news interviews. You got to prepare for these things. And so they focused on their community, what they'd like to improve, the streets, the sidewalks, crosswalk, better housing. There were rats and
Oh, yeah.
landlords that wouldn't fix things, ceilings collapsing, and people just living like, well, I'm undocumented. I guess I have to live in the collapsed ceiling apartment. We started this nonprofit together. People were like, you should probably run for city council. Like, you could probably do a little bit more. And I'm like, I'm studying for law school. Like, I'm about to get into law school. So I just decided to study for the LSAT and run for office at the same time as teaching and running the nonprofit.
I mean, there's 24 hours in a day. You don't have to sleep.
Yeah. Well, and I had to still be a mom. I had
Yeah, sure.
I have an amazing husband and the girls. But yeah, so all of that, I was just very much, if I can breathe, like, I'm going to be out there, like, doing something to help people that are just in need of help. And again, they're my students. They were my next door neighbors. They were at my church. It was a very tight-knit community. What happened was COVID in 2020. Well, before that, I had decided, my husband and I decided to join the Catholic Church. He had become Catholic during law school at Notre Dame, but we got married, had kids. I wasn't Catholic, so started thinking about it more. So 2019, I start RCIA. COVID hits. I'm starting RCIA all while studying for the LSAT, running for office, and that whole thing. So COVID hits. I'm having weekly, sometimes every other night council meetings. I'm studying to become a part of the church. I come into the church in the summer of 2020 during the lockdowns, my mask on, everything. We started looking around at the church, the people at the church, and there weren't kids at all. We asked the priest, is there any family here with kids? Our kids' age that believe in God? And he was like, well, there's this one family. And we were in an area where I would have thought there'd be a few more kids.
Yeah.
So anyway, we started looking for another parish. We started looking for another community, and it was very apparent that if you wanted to live in a community that was slightly affordable, you had to live far out from the city. Both me and my husband were going to be lawyers. Like, he was already practicing. I was about to finish law school. I was like, we're going to drive an hour and a half in to afford this house, to afford, to have our kids live around other kids. But looks like everyone has their garage doors down and there's no kids out here. And so we started looking all over the country. Where do people still have kids? Where do people still have faith? Where do people still have houses that aren't $500,000? And we found a few different places, but Steubenville was one of them. We'd visited a couple times. We'd gone to a conference, and people were like, you should totally move here. And we're like, absolutely not. But yeah, we decided to rent.
And that's when God says, absolutely.
Exactly. He's like, I got other ideas for y'all. So yeah, we rented for a year. 3 years ago, we rented a house on Brady, tiny blue house, 2-bedroom, 1-bath. And I was flying back and forth to finish law school. My kids were at Bishop Musio. My husband was flying back and forth to Atlanta to finish his job. And we bought a house that spring, and that's when I kind of got connected with AIM. People were like, you have a lot of experience. Have you thought of being on the board? So I was like, well, I've never been in a pregnancy center before. The people you're marching with down in Atlanta, for undocumented people or for housing rights and justice aren't usually the people at the pregnancy center running those. So I was a little hesitant. I didn't really know much about what they did. So kind of wanted to give it a shot. And
yeah. What was it about their mission? What was it about what they stand for that enabled you to overcome the hurdles you had, the stereotypes you had of what a pregnancy center is?
Right. Well, I met the founders, and they're the sweetest, kindest people, Dan and Lynette Harrod. And they had started it the year I was born in 1987. And whenever I am in a community, when I was in Atlanta, I was like, what school is the school that no teacher wants to teach at? All right, I'm going to that school. Where's the neighborhood that everyone's scared to live in? All right, who cares? We're living there. I think that communities do better when people from multiple different backgrounds live in community, and they rub off on each other and they teach each other things. And, so when we moved here to Steubenville, and I liked that there was a strong faith community, but there's also a lot of people who are still really trying to figure out life. I mean, everyone's trying to figure it out.
Right.
But there are a lot of people struggling with substance use disorder. There are people struggling with homelessness. There's economic decline. So I was like, Steubenville's not a bubble. There'll be plenty of opportunities to serve. So I meet the founders, I meet the people on the board. And as I'd lived in Steubenville for at least, a year, I was like, who are the vulnerable in this community? And I saw pregnant women sleeping outside. I saw women who were using And I saw and heard stories of domestic violence of these women, and no one.
Slow you down there just a second. First of all, you have such a backwards way of looking at life. And I say that with utter admiration, because most of us are not thinking we're trying to get away from those neighborhoods, trying to go to better. I mean, that is that is willingness that most of us don't have. That's such a huge heart you have for humanity.
I just love people.
That's good. But you can love people and then choose which people you love. But to say, I love people, everybody, even the ones most people don't love. And that is the embodiment of Christ's mission right there. I want to slow you down with the women you just, let's break that down a little. We're dealing with women who have domestic abuse. I assume there's addiction, unwanted pregnancies, and financial hardship.
Yeah.
And that could all be placed under the banner of trauma.
Yeah.
So you are dealing with traumatized individuals who are just trying to survive. When you first started interacting with these women, what stood out to you the most? What helped you see beyond the trauma and beyond all the hardship?
They are so lonely, and you find out you're pregnant and you're alone currently, but now you're going to be alone and this other child dependent on you. And that loneliness, I was like, whatever we need to do, we need community. Again, community is such an essential part that I think a lot of us don't realize. We really die without community. People sitting at home alone, but like these are women who are very alone in a very desperate situation. And so and they still seem to have some sense of like fight in them or hope. And I was like, I'm just I learn from my clients more than they learn from me. And honestly, you don't have to do a lot. Just be with people. Just look at them like they're a human. Talk to them, ask them questions, give them a hug. When they cry, hold them.
Are they used to being treated like human?
I don't want to say for everyone, but a lot of the women that we interact with have been used for things. We have girls who were trafficked for drugs by their parents.
Because it's bad in this area, the trafficking.
Yes, like literally children who their mom was trafficking them as children so they could get drugs. So you have kids who are like, my family was supposed to protect me, and I have this partner and he's supposed to protect me, but I'm pregnant now and he wants me to have an abortion, or he doesn't want me anymore. And so they call us and they come in and they're like, what do I do? Like, I don't have anything to fix. I'm just going to sit with you and let you know, like, you are seen. God sees you. Just like the story in the New Testament where Jesus sees the woman caught in adultery, or the woman at the well, Mary Magdalene. Like he saw women, and
it's amazing you say that. He saw, women were second-class citizens in that, third class maybe.
Right.
And you're right, throughout scripture, he saw women.
Yeah. And like, obviously we look back and we're like, well, they weren't in charge of anything though after Jesus, but what he was doing was so revolutionary to say, I'm going to look at you as a woman, I'm going to talk to you, and I'm going to, give you hope, and I'm going to defend you. That was, just not heard of. So it's just like, well, that's what I'm trying to just do. And something like that.
When you see these, when you start to treat them as human beings, as women, and you learn how lonely they are, and you learned how lonely they are, what did you feel like you could do for them? Like, that's a lot to take on.
Right. Well, as you heard, I was pretty busy back in the day. So I only have one job right now. So this is pretty good to just be able to throw myself into this work. But obviously, like pregnancy centers and ones like ours, they do ultrasounds and they talk with you like, hey, you're pregnant, you're this far along. And I was like, we cannot just say, hey, you're this far along, here's a prayer, here's some formula for, when the baby's born, come back, get some diapers and formula. Like, I didn't even take a salary for the first 6 months because we were in such bad financial shape when I took over at AIM. So I was like, we just need to figure out how to create community and create love. When they come in here, they need to feel loved. They need to feel supported, regardless of what they choose, whether they decide to have the baby, whether they decide not to have the baby. And I'm very clear with my staff, like, we will not judge. We will not throw stones. No woman ever comes in and says, I just want to. Most women say, I know that I shouldn't, or I don't want to, but, and we really want to focus on what is the but, like what are all the issues that are standing in between you and doing what you really want? Because
that's the doorway. That's the window into their lives and what they really need.
Right. And again, women make all sorts of choices, and it doesn't matter what they choose. 9 out of 10 women who come in, they decide not to continue their pregnancy. They call us, they come in, and they know they're going to be loved. Later on, they get pregnant again, they come back and they're like, I'm going to carry this baby. You guys were there for me, even during my darkest times. And like, I really want you to be a part of this. And so we really have tried to create a lot of programming. So
now, when I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
No.
When it doesn't matter their decision they make.
Right.
They can come in, you'll help them.
Yeah.
After they make their decision, they can come back in.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's no judgment.
And how do you help other than providing a place where they feel loved? That's
a good thing.
So what else do you do? Making them feel loved, but what else do you do?
Let's talk about brass tacks. The tangible support, yes. We have a huge boutique where women, when they walk in, they don't know what to do. They see all these beautiful baby clothes and diapers and wipes and strollers and cribs. And so when we're like, we will help you, they can see, like, I think they might actually help me.
Yeah.
There it is, right there. I see that they have what they need to help us. And that's because of the community's generosity. That's one thing that we revitalized, that we used to keep the donations in boxes in the back. Here's some clothes, rummage through, pick them out. But now it's decorated, like it's set up like a boutique. So any classes they come to, they earn points and then they can use those points. Because giving people the opportunity to earn something for their child, to provide for their child, people want to be able to work and give something to their child. People really don't want to just receive. Sometimes they think that that's what they want. But what we found, so we've started a lot of classes. We have doula classes.
I was about to ask you,
Yeah, we have labor and delivery classes. We have postpartum classes. We have post-abortion support classes. We have free licensed professional counseling.
Yeah.
So we have all of that. Anytime they come to any of those things, they earn points to use in the boutique. So they're like, whatever they can do, they're taking a step to invest in themselves, invest in their children. They can see tangibly, like, okay, I got to pick out like a cute outfit or, diapers and essentials. We don't deny people.
Okay.
We're not like, well, you didn't come to class, your baby's
You're talking about the boutique stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
And even if a woman wouldn't have enough points but would need something, you'll still help them.
Yes. So each woman who comes in,
But the literacy you're giving them through those classes.
Right.
Yeah.
And a lot of them started coming like, I was like, please come to classes, you'll get points. No one. 20 points. No one. 30 points. Okay, we got started a couple. So it was we were giving like 50 points to every class you came, and most items in the boutique were like 1 to 5 points.
Okay.
So I was like, you will get a lot of stuff if you just come to this one class. And it's literally eating pizza and hanging out. And we provide free childcare, but I couldn't get people to come in. So we upped the points. I'm like, we publicized it. Eventually, people weren't even asking what their points were. They were coming because they loved being like the women.
Right.
We've created a community of women who come from all walks of life, women who have been just gotten out of prison for drugs. We have women who have just gotten out of a dangerous, abusive situation. We have women who have had abortions. We have women who are pregnant. We have women with toddlers. We have women with children with disabilities. And they're all, 10 to 20 of us sitting there every week, just eating pizza or drinking coffee or eating snacks and just joking around, laughing, crying, praying together.
Great.
And we're just inviting them to be a part of community, because really loneliness is such a problem in our community, in our society.
It is.
Whether you're pregnant or not, loneliness is
Yeah. Seems like I see an article every day about it.
Right. Like the silent epidemic of loneliness.
Yeah.
And you really see, at least with AIM, we're able to take some kind of measurable step to say, you're not going to experience loneliness as long as we can help it.
Right.
And every woman who comes through, we throw them a baby shower the month before their baby's due. And we partner with local community groups or church groups and women's clubs. And we tell the women's club, like, these are the women due, these are their genders. This is the big item they still need.
Right.
And so then we give that list to the women, and they put on this huge baby shower. And so all our moms, they decide to be a part of it. We don't give their information without them saying, yeah, I want to be a part of the baby shower. So they come, and it's a huge celebration. So many women, I've never had a baby shower. This is my 5th kid. First kid, I have no one. I don't have my mom, I don't have my dad, I don't have cousins. But you guys threw me a shower. These women who don't even know me, writing letters saying they're praying for me. Yeah, it's
amazing how when you start meeting people where they are and acknowledging them for who they are and not judging them, it's amazing how that spark of divinity that I think's in everybody
Right.
starts to shine brighter.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. That's wonderful. Thank you for everything.
I'm very blessed to be a part of it. It's
Yeah,
really, they are such a blessing to me.
You sound
It's a
blessed.
blessing. I'm just very
Yeah.
humbled because, like, God does not need me. He's doing this kind of work all over the world. I am completely replaceable. Someone else can come in and do this. You know, God has given me like a lot of favor in the past couple of weeks, but I don't think he needs me to do this.
Right.
Like, he's going to do work, and I'm just humbled that he's choosing to like let me be a little part of it, you know.
And we're humbled that you are part of our community doing it.
Very happy to be.
What is the role of, I knew there was one question I was forgetting to ask you.
Oh, it's okay. Don't even know.
What is the role of women in ministry? Because that is, we're still living under the roles of the patriarchy, and not everybody has grown beyond that. So what are what is the role of women in ministry?
I mean, I think every woman needs to figure out her vocation. You know, obviously as a Catholic, if you're single, you have a vocation to be a single woman and to live your life, you know, trying to serve God, but to serve other people. And then as you get older, you either decide whether you're going religious life, whether you're going to be single and still serve people in that capacity, or whether you're going to have the vocation of being a wife and a mother. To choose the wife and mother doesn't mean you then can't serve the community.
Right.
And so many times I think people feel like, well, I'm at home, I'm staying at home, there's nothing I can do. Well, you organizing like a huge community event is huge. Like,
Yeah.
we need women who are staying at home doing that kind of work.
Right.
We need women raising beautiful families.
Yes.
But like, also a man probably isn't going to run a women's center in the same way that a woman is. You know, so each woman needs to, I don't think it's a one size fits all. I think we've made it seem like you can either be a stay-at-home mom or you work.
Mm-hmm.
And like, they're both at war. Like, well, this is better and this is better.
Right.
And people speak about staying at home with disdain. I stayed home for 2 years with my little kids. They're 15 months apart. And I was like, this is the hardest job I've ever done.
Right.
I like all the things I'm doing.
More of a CEO
Yes.
staying at home than you are in any job.
Yes.
Even as a
Clients are
CEO.
always
And the clients are always upset.
disappointed.
Yes.
They're upset, and you know, it's thankless, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that women need to be in ministry, and you have different phases of your life where you can give more. You know, you can give more when you're single. You can give more before you have kids. While you have little tiny kids, you might not be able to give as much, but it's not God saying
But you're giving
never
to them.
will you. You're
right.
giving to them.
Yes. For a season.
Yeah. And everything's for a season. Like, I thought I was going to go to law school at 22. Well, I got married and had kids, and I ended up going when I was 30. And so like, I thought he took this thing away from me, like my career, like my dreams, my goals. And God has been so gracious that like, whenever I've, let things go, he either later is giving it back to me in a way that I never dreamed of, or he keeps it from me. And I'm like, wow, I'm really glad you didn't let me walk through that door, So I have just such an open hand, like, God, whatever you want, just don't let me walk through the wrong door. Open up where you want to go.
And it's always you making the crooked path straight, and it's always the timing is always perfect. It always happens. Usually our timing is too rushed or too late or
Totally. He's never late.
Yeah. The thing that stands out to me though is, because this is part of our current dialogue, is everything you do is designed to empower women.
Yeah.
And that is something we hear a lot now. Women need to empower other women.
Right.
And I think that's why a man couldn't run the pregnancy center.
It is difficult.
Yeah.
But I think that.
What does that mean to you? And then we'll wrap this up. What does that mean to you, empowering women in your role?
I think, kind of going back to a lot of the things we've talked about, whether you're a staff person or a volunteer or a client, to feel seen, to be given an opportunity to contribute. Every person has something to contribute. And so for me, like as a leader trying to empower other women, my responsibility, I feel, is to figure out, where do you shine? What are you good at? What do you want to do? And how can I clear away the obstacles so that you can do that? And really, if we're all doing that to each other, communities are going to be strong and vibrant and really thrive. But if we're trying to push people down as part of our climb to the top, that's not, you're making the bottom's going to be weak because you've crushed everyone. But really just saying, I see you and I want to figure out how I make you shine and really come into the woman that God has created you to be, whether that I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do, or this is my job, or I'm volunteering, or, whatever it is.
That's wonderful. I had so much more I wanted to ask you, but I know you're busy, and I thank you for giving it. Absolutely. I want to urge people to check out your Facebook page because you've gotten a lot of scholarships and grants and other financial support from various organizations, including the state of Ohio.
Yep.
And so that's AIM Women's Center Facebook page, and your website is aimwomencenter.com.
But if you want to kind of get a more behind the scenes of what's going on, we have supportaim.org. That has more like, what are we doing behind the scenes? How can you get involved to volunteer? And then I didn't even say, we opened a maternity home. We house up to 4 women, hopefully up to 6, and we provide housing for them during pregnancy and for the year after pregnancy.
Excellent.
So you can go to theohiomomhome.org.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here, Rebekah. I really appreciate it. It's been a delight. It's been a delight talking to you, and thank you for really trying to work on behalf of the marginalized in our community. It means the world to me, and I know it really represents what we do here at Trinity. Community partners like you. I mean, we can't do the ministry here without people in the community doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I hope
we need people.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need each other.
Well, thank you for sharing everything with us today.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for joining us and listening in or watching. We hope you'll check out some of our other episodes on our YouTube channel, Trinity Health System. A lot of great content on there. And we will see you back here next time. Thank you so much.